Welcome to Never Too Serious with Scott and Dave. I am Scott.
And I'm Dave.
Finally, 1 year. It's in the books.
I know it. It's a great day.
And we even have producer Ethan today in front of the camera.
Yep. It's like this. What's that show? The Stories of Our Lives or something like that.
Yeah.
We're bringing back some of the background that doesn't get to come out and visit.
He doesn't get to
often.
participate nearly as often as he wants, probably.
And it's also to give him a little bit of thanks for his efforts too.
Yeah. He hasn't been on every show.
I was gonna say when he shows up,
but he is here often enough to help us.
He is busy.
Yeah. It's a pain in the butt for me to have that computer on my lap trying to run a show.
Yep.
And deal with the clips and all the other stuff. So it is nice to have.
I love it when he's here. Yep.
Yeah. So this is the first year in the books. We are doing our anniversary show, kind of a highlight show. Want to reminisce a little bit.
Yeah, we couldn't come up with anything good, so we're like, oh, crap, what are we going to do? A highlight. Yeah, that's what we all do. Yeah. That's what all the big guys do. When we can't come up with anything, it's a highlight reel.
Because there's nothing in the news right now.
You know what? Thank God. Right? Can we take that and just be happy?
Yeah, this is the one down weekend.
It's going to be rough the next, though. Watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have a nice studio audience today.
Yep, we do.
Nice to have... How many listeners? We have like 5 listeners, and they're all here in the studio today. I'm actually lying because there's only 4 people in the studio. Dang it. Well,
that's funny.
Yeah. Well, you guys can subscribe at home. You can tell a friend and help us grow the audience beyond our 4 audience members. That'd be great. So just to kind of start off the show, 1 year in the book. So any thoughts on your experience so far?
Well, I always have a good time getting together and hanging out with you, and I know that was kind of the inspiration of us getting together is just to be able to get together or to have a show of conversations.
Us talking to each other.
And so it's been the best part about it for me has been that we've dedicated some time to get together and do these things, and then to have it focused about some certain topics is just made it even that much better.
Yeah, it totally started off as just conversational, and then we decided to put a little bit more effort and be more topical.
Well, I will say that it has been pretty cool to see. I know one of our guests had sent us a video message and to say that we have grown, and I know a lot of people have tried to do things and they don't really go too far or don't even... you don't have your show doesn't even improve. And I've got to say that it's been nice that we have had, so we have seen some issues that we could make better and we've made better, and it's nice to see that we have actually come this year and made some growth.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us inspired to do another year, and we know how to hit it hard and have a great, even better time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony he's kind of been our biggest fan next to Braden here in the audience.
Yep.
He's listened to pretty much every show. I think my buddy Jimmy's probably on that list as well because he's commented and given us advice at different stages on things to fix and improve upon. But
every one of them said, "Don't change anything. That's perfect. It's perfect." Yeah. We're like, we know.
Every single one of them said that Dave should swear more.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's just going to get me messed up in trouble today. It's already started off bad earlier before the show. Woo! I'm gonna have to either tune that up or tone it down. I don't know which one.
I think Ethan's in agreement.
We might have to just get some earplugs and hand them out to the audience.
Yeah,
or one in particular.
If they don't want to watch the show, that's fine. They don't have to watch it.
Love it.
Yeah, you gotta let loose a little bit, let the swear words fly. Of course, if it's appropriate.
Oh well, then it probably won't come then. My swear words usually just show up when it's inappropriate.
It's that filter that you kind of get stuck on.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys listening and sending us feedback and encouraging Dave to have poor behavior. So
they know I'll bite.
Yeah. So some of the I think things that we've done so far in the podcast. So we started off thinking it was just going to be kind of casual conversation. We hit record and go for it, and then we decided we're going to invest in a little bit better kind of setup with microphones, and we got cameras going. We even got a soundboard, and Ethan's back there.
Say we have a producer and stuff.
He's a very highly paid producer.
And then we even put a desk up for him, too.
That's true.
I mean, it was kind of interesting how it all started. It just started as just a little thought, and we had a little little meeting
Mm-hmm.
and just made it happen.
Yeah.
And I will say that I think it's a great investment for another year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the things that we've talked about, the improvements, I think the audience will see, and I think it'll be. I think a year from now, it's going to be amazing. And I'd love to look back at that.
Mm-hmm. Anything? Maybe Ethan, you could even chime in here. Anything that you can think of that you kind of started off a little nervous about, and then you're not so nervous about anymore?
Oh yeah, I felt well. I don't know if I was nervous, but I have a lot of compassion and empathy for the audience. And so I feel really bad that they have to look at me and listen to my voice. And I've kind of gotten used to like going ahead and, I mean, I feel bad for my family. I don't know how much more I've invested money for therapy for them for future. I know they're going to need it. But I'm kidding, but seriously, I'm kind of being serious here a little bit though, because, I don't have a voice or a face or a voice for radio. But I do enjoy this, and so I've gotten used to saying, I really don't care about the rest of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just do it because I enjoy it. So, and I hope it comes out that way. But
yeah, but you're kind of over some of that.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a concern, but I think the big deal is that I'm just sitting here hanging out and talking with Scott. Yeah, and so that was I kind of got over it relatively quick, but it still was a concern.
I remember when the cameras got turned on, and you kind of froze up.
Like,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't say. I really was thinking about what I shouldn't. I mean, it was just, what do I say?
Everything
should I
became
not say?
filtered.
It was more of that. It was what I know what to say, but how should I say it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been nice. It's been a year to go, but I still haven't really said it how I should be saying it.
Well, I think you've loosened up quite a bit, since we started.
That never has been an issue of me in my life to loosen up. I'm always just I'm already ready and got to go, but I try to be a little bit conservative and thoughtful, believe it or not. I know it doesn't sound like it, of other people's ideas, because I would like people to not find me abrasive. I'd like people to be able to sit down and have a conversation with me and not go, woo, that guy's a little bit strong-headed and, in that topic, they don't want to talk about it. But I would like to be like a Santa Claus of topics. People just want to come sit down next to me and shoot the breeze about stuff. Hey, it works for Biden.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Stay off of Dave's lap. Ethan, anything that you've let's say, learned through this process? You've participated in well over half of the shows.
Yeah, I guess show prep and figuring out what's a good marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
But
to get more listeners.
Yeah.
I know we're kind of going through some of that stuff right now, looking at analytics. If you are someone that's wanting to start a podcast, it's easy to get started. It's hard to do it well. And I don't even know that we're doing it well, but there's so many other details, like the analytics.
Yeah, the analytics and trying to, what's it called? The SEO? Or
the search engine optimization.
Yeah, that's some interesting and complicated things you got to kind of look into for when you're making a podcast.
Well, and so Ethan does some of the setup. He gets the cameras prepped. He gets the audio checks done. We have this little clicker deal that my brother bought us pretty early on, I think.
Yep.
And so Ethan kind of syncs up everything for us. And, so you've kind of had to learn some of the tech stuff along the way.
Yeah.
And even today, you're like, how do I do this? Because he's not here often enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes when I look at your computer, there's just hundreds of files just everywhere on your screen, so I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's a library of things I could care less about.
Yeah, it's so true.
So what he's saying is he needs his own setup and computer.
Yeah, I need a laptop.
I think that will require a good, 98% show up rate.
We're gonna have to get some sponsors. Maybe Dell or Apple want to sponsor the show.
Or I just get myself a ski mask and we'll just take care of this real quick.
It's working for other people.
Get you one by next weekend.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, you've kind of grown with the show. I think you're probably more confident in what we're doing and more knowledgeable when we chat.
Yeah. He gives us cues about when my mic is too far away, or if he can't hear it,
or when I can hear my dad breathing through the mic.
Yeah, if my nose whistles are getting out of hand.
He's whistling Dixie through his nose. We're playing Name That Tune. Ethan and I are doing it for like half an hour before we even tell him to stop.
Yeah. But I do edit the show, so I can cut that stuff out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You keep me in my chair, but you can edit out your nose whistles.
I know. Well, that was one of the funny episodes, where Ethan's chair was like moving around, and it sounded like fart noises. And so we like throughout the show kind of teased him about it.
That was Ethan. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what we came up with.
Yeah. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So looking back, I know we've got some clips to show off today, but looking back, do you guys have some fun episodes that you can recall right off the top of your head that you probably would name as maybe your favorite?
Oh, no. There's honestly a good amount that are up there.
It's a bummer because there's a couple of, I have to categorize them and then say favorites, because one of my favorites was with my wife when we did Scientology. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, it may not be in the most fun. Like I was going back through some of the older ones the other day, and I noticed the David Carradine and how he passed away, and I was kind of like shocked a little bit, like, oh, that's right, I forgot we did that, and that was kind of a fun show, So they go into a little bit different categories. So I really enjoyed that one with the Scientology with my wife and you, of course, and
thanks, Dave.
But that was a good one, but I also thought that something like that was really funny. Yeah, I thought there's other ones I'll have to tell you about, but that was one that popped out that I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. Anything from you, Ethan, you think that was worth mentioning?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, what was the one with the comment section that we were looking at?
Okay, so I think that was probably going to be my next set when we were talking about funny news.
Yeah.
Because there was so many.
The one with the hairball?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. We'll take a break in a little bit and come back and show some of these clips because they are hilarious. And the show that you're talking about in particular it was like, for us, it was like a random news day, I think, and it was just try and find funny articles.
Yes.
And the hilarity is in the comments.
And so people that may not know this, but during these times, and it still is out there, but it was very trying for a lot of people during COVID and the lockdowns and everything. And we really may not know it, but these are silly and odd and peculiar, but that was on purpose. It's to break the cycle of what's going on, because it sure did for us. And that's I think why it was shocking for me to remember that, because it was like, this one was the second one I was going to bring up because it was like, oh my gosh, it was helpful at the time,
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of brought some lightheartedness to some tough times. Any episodes that you can think of, Ethan, where it was like more, it wasn't necessarily a funny show, but something that
entertaining,
that was good? The content was quality.
Oh shoot, what was it? Oh, no.
I mean, I have a list here too.
There was, because we did multiple parts of Scientology. So there's one about like how rich they were, right? Talking about like
that part of Scientology where all the celebrities were participating in growing the cult. I mean, religion,
whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I like that, and I liked the
props.
Oh man, here we go.
Yeah, I included a list. So for those of you who are maybe just kind of new to our show, this is episode 52.
Yep. So
we have, from the time that I'm recording this right now to another episode that's going to air prior, we've gone through 50. We've aired 50 shows, and in that amount of time, it's amazing how much stuff you forgot that you did.
I know.
So I wrote down a list of a bunch of the shows, and in some cases, they're topical. They're shows on, we already talked Scientology. We talked about flat Earth. We talked about, UFOs.
UFOs, that was a great one.
Yeah. So there was another one that was funny that I really liked, and it was the Biden gaffes.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
We've talked politics. We talked, of course, COVID, because we talked about a lot of things that affect everybody's life, and then we did that a bunch. We're like, oh, this is terrible. We got to throw in some of these. Let's throw in some of that odd stuff, lighthearted stuff, because it's hard to keep it serious.
I would have to say for my top three though, because I don't think I could pick between these three. Is probably Living on Mars. That was a really good one. The time travel one.
Oh yeah, we did.
Time travel was very interesting. I thought there was a lot of cool stuff there. And then Flat Earth.
Yeah, the Flat Earth thing.
Yeah. Because that one's funny, but I mean, it's also, there's a lot of information.
We got to talk about a lot of mentally ill people.
Well, okay, speaking of some of that, MK Ultra.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Right after that show, a couple men showed up at my front door, and that's all I remember.
When I snap 3 times, you will come too. Yeah, the MK Ultra was one of those early shows that we did that was kind of like a, it's a real thing, but there's a lot of conspiracy surrounding it. And we were already kind of fascinated by people in like cults and human behavior, and MK Ultra kind of brought to the front how the government was involved in brainwashing people.
I think it deserves another dive into that on that topic.
Yeah,
that was an interesting one.
Well, maybe I'll link it right up here.
Over there?
Yeah,
or over here?
No, right over this side.
I don't. Okay.
Why not right here?
Yeah. You're the producer.
Yeah.
That's I can put it where I want it.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the cool things about us producing stuff on YouTube is that now we can actually link to other shows in audio form. It's hard to, direct people to another show. So.
Well, yeah, and you can do that on Spotify now too.
Isn't that a cool thing? So Spotify now supports video, and Never Too Serious got into their early release.
Beta testers, basically.
Yeah.
And so now our video is showing up on Spotify.
So that was kind of neat for me because it was near the end of, getting close to the end of our year. So it's nice for me to go, hey, this is going to be the kind of a big deal for us going into our second year. Mm-hmm. So I was excited to see that happen at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they're gonna expand that, I'm sure, and give YouTube a run for their money. I think, especially with long form podcast, being able to put in video. Like Joe Rogan's been doing it for a while.
Yep,
he was one of the first. So, and now we get to be participating. It's pretty.
I love it.
Yeah. I wanted to, looking through this list and kind of preparing for the show, because I had to go back and listen to some stuff, and some of the ones that I really enjoyed was like talking about taxes. We talked a little bit about the federal government and how huge our national debt is.
Yeah.
We talked about college.
I'm starting to get that nod again when you're talking each time. Like, that was fun.
Don't forget.
That might have been a good show, but fun.
I was going to say, don't forget about Buy and Spill Back Better. That's not going to cost us anything.
Yeah. Well, but the shows that we did, they were, we try and throw some humor in there, but really the show for us is we want to kind of learn a little bit too. And every show topic, there's some level of effort to learn more about it so we can speak about it. And hopefully the audience can learn something with us. But these particular areas I find very fascinating. I didn't really look enough into free college before we did it on the show.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be a pretty good podcast. Yeah. And not one that I don't think had much listenership, but that was early on when we didn't do a whole lot of research and search engine optimization and all these other things. So,
I will say for me, one of them was Bitcoin. I didn't know anything about it, so I got to scratch the surface, and then you fill me in during the show. It's been enlightening for me, and so hey, if I can learn something out of it, then somebody else out there can.
Yeah. Well, and I think that show was inspired by my Uncle Mark.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he wanted to hear because he sends us topic ideas, and we've covered some of them. Well, Bitcoin was one.
I'll tell you. Well, then thank you, Uncle Mark, because I think since then we invested in cryptocurrencies. So in fact, beyond that, so we've had a lot of fun with that. So
absolutely,
it definitely helps out.
Yeah. I know we've got, Tony, our biggest fan, he had mentioned some funny ones like the fake martial arts stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he thought that was pretty funny. I agree.
Yes. See, there's that knot. Start twisting. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, one of them that I thought was funny was there was a lady that had sat down on the old outhouse, and she didn't know there was an old bear in the old outhouse that decided to take a nip.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good, interesting story.
Yeah, the bear got into the bottom of it.
Who would have thought to just check in there for? I mean, I probably would have noticed because I would have checked for a spider right off the bat. But oh man, how would you?
Well, what about
it? Was funny.
What about that one with the funny city names that we found?
Oh yeah,
my gosh!
You know what? Let's save some of these. Because I have those clips.
Oh, dude! Yeah.
I want to share that with the audience.
Yeah, I'm going to relive those too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, so why don't we take a quick break? We'll come back. I know my dad is here as a guest. He's appeared on the episodes. What, 2 episodes?
Yeah, or
3, 4.
Yeah,
no, 3 of them.
A few of them. Yeah,
yeah, because he was at the Brothers Camp Out when we did.
Was. Yeah.
So.
And then we'll get to go through some of the clips with your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'll be fun. So, okay. Well, we will be right back.
Hey guys. Just wanted to send you guys a little video clip. I hear that it is your 1-year anniversary of doing Never Too Serious. So Scott, Dave, congratulations on that. Some of my favorite things that listening to the episodes is the way that Dave starts something to say and then all of a sudden pauses and goes, yeah, I shouldn't say that. And I love that. And it's at the same time I'm saying, damn it, Dave, just say it. But it's so hilarious where, like, Dave, you catch yourself, and it's quite good. Oh, and as for cooties, that is what teachers made up to keep the girls away from the rest of us. I think there was a situation, I don't know, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something in that way. But yeah, all the teachers like, well, stay away from Dave and Tony because, you know, they got cooties. So, anyways, the last year has been, the last 2 years have been a struggle for a lot of people with COVID. And, we had a huge fire down here, displaced a bunch of families, burnt a lot of buildings, and we did what we could to save them. And, even myself, over the last year, I've had my own struggles. And you guys keep putting something out there that makes me laugh, and I appreciate it. I hope that you guys continue on for a long period of time, and I will keep preaching the word to everybody else that hasn't listened to you guys yet, because I think it's really good. And most adventures, they start off hot and then they end within a year, and I think you guys have just gotten better over a period of time and over the last year. So that being said, I did want to a shout out to my beautiful wife. She is 46 years old today. She's kind of like Jennifer Aniston. She only gets more beautiful as she ages. So she's gorgeous. But thank you guys for allowing me to send this video to you. And I hope that you guys continue to keep doing what you're doing. And in the great words of Matthew McConaughey, all right. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
All right, we are back, and now we have a guest. There's my dear old dad, Terry.
Dear old dad.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Terry.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
love it. Glad to have you back, Terry.
Yeah, it's good to have you back in the seat here.
Yeah.
So we're back talking a little bit about, we're reminiscing.
Yeah.
We're talking about some of the shows from the last year.
Yep. We were about to maybe go over a few clips of some of the things that intrigued us in the past.
Well, things that made us kind of giggle, like middle school boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because some of it was, for me, it was funny and chuckles, but it was like, I found out I was laughing at some kind of like, ooh, okay, maybe that's a little deep. I don't know what I'm chuckling about.
Yeah,
I tend to find something to laugh about anything. But
well, so you sent me the list of shows that you thought were kind of funny.
Yeah, I did.
And I'm just looking at that list. And we might as well start off with one that I thought was pretty funny.
Okay.
And to be honest, I had forgotten about that whole show. So I'll set this up. Ethan, cue up cut 5. There's this town that had a really funny name.
Yeah.
It was just a show that we were doing on like funny like news articles, and this was go ahead and run it, Ethan.
Austrian Village.
Austrian Village.
And the town council wants to change the name of the town. Yeah, do you want to know what the name of the town is?
In Austria?
Yeah, in Austria.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What?
The town is called Fucking.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And they say that the English speaking media makes fun of them all the time for their town name, right?
Sure. That would make complete sense.
Makes complete sense, right? Yeah, it doesn't make it any better when the website Pornhub starts offering free premium access for people who live in the town of Fucking.
It's a perk.
But they're not the only ones, because there's evidently...
Wait a minute, did you say free premium access?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get a place down there?
I don't know.
It might be worth it, but just for free premium access.
But they're changing the name of the town, so that access is going to be limited.
Damn it.
Yeah, but you could move to one of these other towns called Tits. Or Big Beaver, Pennsylvania. That's a little bit closer. Because Pornhub's also offering discounts to the residents of those towns. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Do you remember that show, Dave?
I do. Oh, I'm so glad I invited a couple guests today.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I remember it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I it's funny because I did remember a couple of those places, but I didn't remember them all.
Yeah. Big Beaver, Pennsylvania.
Yep. Yes, that one. That would be one of them.
Dad, did you catch that show?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
This was the new one that you haven't seen.
I guess so. I have to bring it up and have Daddy watch it with me.
He's like, well, been there, done that, so I'm need to watch it.
Yeah, don't blush there. Ethan, bring up Dave's list. There's some funnier ones. They're all kind of funny, but Ethan kind of brought his list together. I brought mine together, and I noticed that you and Ethan had the same, I guess, first one on your list that you sent to me.
Right.
And it's just a show that we were doing about stupid laws.
Yeah, that was yes, that's funny.
And this is one of those stupid laws that doesn't make any sense. Ethan, cut one.
These are like things that just don't make sense to me. Okay, so there's a law in Oregon that says that a dead person cannot be required to serve on a jury.
Dude, I don't agree with that.
They're dead. Why not spend a whole bunch of government resources trying to get them? I don't.
The sad part is people have had to try that for them to go, whoa. Let's make a law. We got to stop this.
Right.
Everybody's trying to put dead people on the jury.
Yeah, it had to be prompted by something. They're trying
several people. It can't be just like one person or no person.
Yeah.
And,
so
I will say that is good advice. At least it doesn't need to be a law, but good advice, anyways.
No, it's very good government advice. It fits right in.
It does fit right in, doesn't it?
We dig on the government quite a bit because the government doesn't really.
They do a lot more harm than good. How's that?
Yeah, they do some stupid
and they
stuff.
do it out loud and out loud.
Yeah, Dad, you were just talking about being on a jury this last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever heard of some dead person getting put on a jury?
Not recently.
No. Well, no, it's a law.
You weren't accused of being dead on the jury, were you? Wake up.
Mm-hmm. Any others on your list there, Dave, that you thought were worth noting?
Well, I think every one of them is worth noting. But there was one that I had to bring up that reminded me of a Friends episode because I think Phoebe had a name. Her name was like Banana Hammock, Sheila Consuela or something. I don't know it, but it was funny because we were talking about names, right? People changing their names, and so why don't you play this one? I'm shocked that you could even. I mean, like, is there like a BS meter where they come in and like, no, come on, no, you're just being stupid. You're wasting everybody's time.
Well, that's what the minister said. What do they call him? The deputy interior minister said that all of these changes, just for free food, it was causing a lot of wasted time and unnecessary paperwork. Oh, the poor government. But
God forbid giving them work to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure this paperwork isn't really that complicated.
I'm sure.
But when I read these news articles, it cracks me up because there's always comments at the bottom. And with these ones, they turn the comments on because some news stories, they'll turn the comments off because people start doing stuff in the comments.
Yes.
But my favorite of the comments, this guy calls himself Necron. He says, there's something fishy about this story.
Sounds like something your dad
There's
would
my
say.
dad joke. I told my wife, and she just rolled her eyes.
It's crazy what people do because for me, if it costs $3 to do that, I don't even. I gotta tell you, I don't think it's laziness. It's like I'd rather go spend the $200. I'm not going to go down there and do all that. Or I'd be so lazy, like I'm not going to change it back. What do I care?
If you could do it online, maybe that's a different story.
Touche.
That's
funny.
You don't have to deal with the paperwork.
Well, that's a big. I'm too old. I don't think of that first.
But they limit you to 3 times.
Well, that's good to know. Things you want to know beforehand. What was it on Friends? Something Consuela Banana Hammock. That's what Phoebe renamed herself or something. And I think I skipped something, but yeah.
Banana Hammock was in there?
Oh, yes. It's something Consuela.
That's funny.
It is funny. I was like, what?
Yeah. So people are getting free sushi to change their name to include fish in their name, and tons of people were changing their names.
Well, funny. A part about that little story is that people had changed their name and went to go change it back and found out the hard way that there's only 3 times you could do it, and they got stuck with some odd names, and you listed some crazy names.
Yeah,
but that was fun.
It's definitely
a
show worth going back. Yeah, I mean, just funny news articles. Sometimes you can get some really interesting stuff. I know there's a bunch that come from Florida.
Oh my gosh! I got to tell you real quick. There was one with, and I don't even know if it was on my list. It might be, but it's one that just shot into my head. Was there was somebody robbed and stole a slide.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was somewhat close to us.
I'm not going to admit that. But yeah, it sure was. But I mean, that was just hilarious. I didn't know that had happened, and of course it did happen.
Yeah. The guy
makes perfect sense that it should happen.
The guy was out there stealing the catalytic converters, also stealing the local slide from the park.
Yeah, hooked it up to his bunk bed or something.
Yes. Criminals are so stupid.
Yeah, meth was involved, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ethan, I want you to play cut number 6. So this is one of those funny news articles that we were, we're going through the list, and we didn't realize that there's this really fancy, form of martial arts called crotch kung fu.
I can't look at you when you say it. Keep a straight face.
It's not a well-known art or style in kung fu, but they call it crotch kung fu. Any guesses on what that style would entail?
No, I have nothing comes to mind at all.
Yeah, no, nothing. Not when you mention crotch. Well, they call it the iron crotch, and they actually do specific training with it's really hard to watch. It's like this big old log, and on one side is like a steel plate. At least that's what the article said. But when I watched the video, I didn't see any steel plates, but I did see a massive log, and they set it up on this like a trapeze type thing, and the guy stands with his legs open and basically pushes the log away from him and waits for it to come back and hit him in the junk. And what's funny is that so this guy is getting interviewed, and he's talking about how this was like a much more common like form of kung fu, where people would practice this and they'd become a master at it, and and over the years it's gotten less popular. I don't know why. I mean, you watch it the first time and go, I want to do that.
Oh my gosh! See, the younger people have found better wives. These guys are don't have good wives. They're going out there just trying to like end it all. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they have fewer and fewer descendants, I think.
Oh, gosh, and I see those were good. Those for me were great clips at perfect times, because it was really tight and stressful at those times.
Mm-hmm.
Still is a bit out there, but it was pretty tense out there at that time.
Yeah, Ethan, down on your list, there was, the magic happens in the comments, which, by the way, those of you watching this on YouTube, throw some comments down in the little box below.
Yeah.
We would appreciate that. In fact, believe it or not, learning about this whole analytics thing, that actually helps our videos to get shown to other people.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
yeah.
So,
yep.
Like and comment. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I can take it.
And we'll respond back.
Yeah, you damn right I'll respond back. Bring it.
Yeah.
No.
So this little clip I thought was pretty funny because, well, it was kind of a serious issue, because it was this girl who went to the hospital with a massive hairball in her stomach.
Sure, yeah.
Really
happens
horrible.
to most of us.
Just like, some mental problems there. And so it was kind of a serious story. But the comments, they lighten the mood. Go ahead and hit it. Now, of course, it's sad, mental issues, right?
Sure.
But where the mood gets lighter is in the comment section.
Oh, please. Because I
So
actually have a lot more feelings for her.
Here are some of my favorites. Okay.
I just ask you to please make me laugh.
This guy,
make me laugh at this situation.
me one good eye. That's what he called himself.
Uh-oh.
He says, a pretty hairy situation, if you ask me.
Another
Here
dad joke.
comes the dad jokes. Another one, hair today, gone tomorrow. Okay, Captain Linger says, she had a brush with death.
Oh my gosh.
A hairbrush with death. And then he comes back again and he says, she did permanent damage.
Gotcha. Oh my heavens.
Oh wait, there's more.
Oh, I bet there is.
Yeah, now producer E enjoys this show, but this guy says, Johnny Bags, that's his name. He says, it reminds me of that show I tried to watch, My Strange Addiction. Producer E knows all about that. A lady liked to lick her cat and took so far as to collect the cat hair from the bedside and the side of her couch, where the cat would rub up against it, and she would roll them up into a ball and eat it. I never finished watching it, and I'm pretty sure she's single. So yeah,
to this day, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's the comment section really is. It's a great place for humor.
Yeah,
and they proved it one after another.
Yes,
I can appreciate the dad jokes. I got a dad that's full of them.
Yep. Yeah, full of them.
One on my list, nuclear. I have the hard time saying that word. My brother teases me about it.
We could work on it. We could
work
do
on it right now.
Little session if you need
nuclear.
to. Oh, I think you just nailed
nuclear. I think that's it.
I think it's nuclear.
Nuclear.
There you go. Say that all the time.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
There you go. That one's for you, Tony. This is actually one of his favorites. Little episode on stupid laws and how ridiculous a lot of them tend to be, and that we can't get rid of them. Yeah, there's one about detonating a nuclear device. Go ahead.
What's more crazy than Oregon? Maybe California.
Oh yeah, they started it.
Right. So it is illegal to detonate a nuclear device within city limits.
Oh, thank God.
Guess what? The result is a $500 fine. I mean, Who's going to collect on that after it goes off?
I guess
Right?
that.
I mean, who comes up with this?
That is good advice, though.
It's good advice.
It's not a very good deterrent. I mean, 500
bucks. I mean, come on.
I mean,
As long as you're not there when it goes off.
I mean, if you could afford a nuke, you could afford the fine.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was from like a college town up in Northern California, Chico, maybe. I think it was Chico. Yeah.
Maybe they're just a town of straight shooters. So.
Yeah. Do you remember some of these shows there, Dan?
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that one? Well, how about cut number 4? We had a show on ways people die. Funny ways people die. In fact, Dave, was this a topic that you brought to the table?
Yeah. This was the one. This is the one that kind of some things stood out on this one. That was like, oh yeah. But it was odd how some of these people died, or how so many of these people died this way. You would think that people have heard enough about how people die that they would not do what they do.
Yeah.
But no, this was a funny one for me, and I feel bad about it because it's how people die. But here I am.
Yeah, especially this famous guy, David Carradine. Go ahead.
I was chit-chatting with a friend, and we were talking about pretty cool actor, David Carradine. And then we're talking about how he died, and we're like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he had a pretty... Well, maybe it's not a bad one. Maybe it was a good death. I don't know how to say it, but it's sad that he died. But he died of, let's see if I do this, autoerotic asphyxiation. Huh? Pretty close.
You pulled that one off pretty good.
Pretty good. and I go, oh my gosh, that is a weird way to die.
Well, so explain to me who David Carradine is.
David Carradine, man, how I knew him, it was a show called Kung Fu. And he was the star of that show. And he came back. And I know he's done some other things here and there, but what I knew him from, and I don't know if it was the last thing he did, but close to, was Kill Bill.
That's where I remember.
And I was so excited to see him because I hadn't seen him for so long. Because I'm like, oh man, yeah, I really liked him, and to each their own. It's just too bad he couldn't do it again.
So, what was it? Autoerotica?
Jerk. It's autoerotic.
Erotic asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation.
So that's like getting strangled while you're doing it.
Yep. That's when you cut off, the flow to your air, and it's supposed to help intensify your orgasm, I guess. And
oh my gosh! And he died while doing it.
I hope it worked, at least. I mean, I don't know what to say. It sucks that he died, but hey,
that's so funny. What do you think there, Dad?
What a waste.
See, our show can also be educational.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
I mean,
before. Yeah.
I mean, who knew about autoerotic asphyxiation?
Yep.
Can you say it, Dave?
Yes, I can say it, but I won't. I have dignity. I don't have to say, weird things to the audience.
It's so funny. Dave was really trying to say that word quite a few times.
It was terrible.
He couldn't get it. You did nail it, though, on the show.
Too many syllables. I got to say, it's not just that word. It's just, it's pretty much the whole English language.
That's so funny. Ethan, did you have one on there that you wanted to?
Yeah, I wanted to show cut 10.
Cut 10. Oh, this is from an episode where we had kind of like I don't know, we're talking sciencey stuff.
Yeah, yep.
Extinction, bringing back the woolly mammoth, and there's there's some funny stuff that came out of it. Go ahead, E. We have been domesticating animals for a long time. Think about the number of different types of dogs. You have a bulldog.
Thousands.
If you look at a bulldog, does it look anything like a wolf?
Nope. Sure doesn't.
It sure doesn't.
Looks like a ham with
with 4 legs.
Yep.
But think about that. Just in the way that we've bred dogs through the years to make sure that they have certain characteristics. If you imagine your dog being set free out in the woods someplace, how long do you think that dog would survive? And let's just say
dog?
maybe not.
No, poor thing. I'm going to cry because he wouldn't make it a day. It's true. It's true.
It is true.
Oh,
yeah.
but he's just the biggest love, though,
Yeah.
But not a survivor.
Not a survivor.
No,
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah. Every time I look at him, it cracks me up because he comes out so tough. He's this big old meaty, short legs but meaty bulldog.
Yep.
But he's kind of a pushover.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Ethan, what was another one you had there?
Oh, I had the butt crack story.
Okay, so I'll set this one up. At some stage, you start to look like your parents.
And look at it; it's happening right now in front of us.
Yeah, not everybody's that lucky.
Oh.
And so Dave and I, we're in our 40s now, and we are experiencing some things about aging, and we have this fear of getting old and not.
Things are getting bigger than they should.
More hair in places we don't want. Yeah, the body aches.
Well,
and
testify, brother, testify. Oh.
And I got feedback after this show, because this one I think went around to a lot of different family members and some friends, and I got a lot of feedback, and they appreciated the story I told of me coming to a realization of I'm getting old and not caring.
Yeah.
Go ahead and run it there.
I thought those were coming out.
So I don't know. I don't know if I ever told you the story when I sort of made the realization that I'm getting older. Did I tell you the story?
Well, so you didn't.
So there was at our old house we had this chain link fence that was between us and the neighbors, and so they had their backyard faced the street and our side yard, and so we bought this material to go over the fence to kind of screen it, right? And we get a lot of east wind coming out here in the wintertime, and so that thing started to kind of rip off, and so I went out there one day and I had all these little zip ties, and I'm starting to tie it down to the fence again, and neighbors were kind of out. I could see there's some activity on the street, and I'm bending over to zip tie the lower part of it, and I knew, I could feel the cold, but I knew that my butt crack was showing, and I didn't care. I was hunched over doing the zip ties, frustrated that I had to be doing this thing.
You're just diving straight into old age.
Instead of standing up and covering up a crack, I just didn't care. And I finished off the rest of the fence, and I knew that it was showing, and I still just didn't care.
All right, well, that's good to know, because my wife and I will sit there and go, oh my gosh, look at that guy. He's got to know, right? How could you not know? Yeah. And for me, even in front of my wife, I'll be like, uh-oh. I'll stop and pull him up. Might even apologize. Sorry, I didn't get to that earlier. But,
That was the realization for me, that I was getting older because I stopped caring what other people thought. And I think it's probably gotten worse. I probably care less now what people think of me.
It's so true, though, right?
Yeah. I can understand a shower or not to shower a couple days here and there, but...
Yeah, well, I think having conversation with other people, there's some things I don't care anymore. But I think even going to the grocery store and buying certain things, I just don't care anymore.
Oh, yeah. This last weekend, I think I grabbed some adult diapers and some feminine products and walked around the place, and... I felt bad because a lady walked down the aisle right after me. I'm like, oh, crap. I grabbed the last old lady diapers, and what if she needed them? I did put them back eventually, but I did think, oh, no.
That's so funny.
So, yeah, I'm over that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ever really bothered me too much anyways, but still, I still got it. How's that?
Yeah. Another favorite. Well, it's favorite because you and your wife have this really funny way of interacting with each other.
Like, do we?
Well, you guys,
do we? That's not normal?
You kind of verbally beat up on each other sometimes, make jokes about each other, and I think it's hilarious. And this one was just kind of funny because it is a good example of your humor, even when she's in the room. Ethan, it's cut number 8.
The question was, do you know who you would catch COVID from? You're the most likely to catch COVID from.
I would guess a little kid.
They said it was your spouse.
Oh, that's true.
But the thing is you can't just catch it from your spouse. Meaning, who did the spouse catch it from?
Somebody else's spouse?
Somebody else's
bitch. Damn it, I'm onto something.
Yeah.
She gets COVID. She's getting the divorce papers.
So funny. But it's true. Like, sure, if your spouse has it, then yeah, I would hope that you would catch it because you don't want to have a spouse that you're never in contact with, right? Right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm like, wait a minute. What's the negative to that? No,
yeah. So I think that's a good example of your guys' relationship. You guys can throw each other
under the bus.
Yeah.
Well, that's on camera. After you guys leave, there's a reason why I can't see you for a few days.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
Gosh.
Okay, so this is a recent episode 48. We were talking about strange beliefs and superstitions and some weird stuff that we once believed as kids.
Yeah.
And this is probably my favorite part of that show, where you ask me about what a cootie is. So funny.
So let me ask you this though: what's a cootie? I've heard about cooties a lot when I was growing up, and kind of like you with the scary stuff. I was kind of curious. I want to go get me a cootie.
Mm-hmm.
What's a cootie?
Yeah. If girls have them, I might want them.
Be interested.
I might be interested.
Do they sell them by the pack? Do I go get a cootie and bring it to the girl? Is that how she gets a cootie? What is a cootie?
It's like a gift exchange.
I think that's well. So I have a cootie and she has a cootie. We could give each other our cooties.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So what's a cootie?
I mean, I don't think cooties are bad unless it requires medication to get rid of it.
Oh my gosh! So let me ask you: Is a cootie supposed to be just a germ or something?
I think
or
so.
Is it evil thoughts?
No, I think
is a cootie could it be evil thoughts? Like you're going to give each other evil thoughts.
Oh, that's a good question.
Go down I don't know. Cootie has never been defined, and cootie, in other words, just stay the heck away because you don't want a cootie. It's like leprosy, or it's a.
I think it's like a snipe when you go hunting. Snipe hunting.
Snipe hunting. I'm going after a cootie. I'll tell you what. I've been around and no doctor. Doctor said I got this and that. Well, hell, he said I got 17 other things, but he never said I had a cootie, and I can't find one yet.
Yeah, I think we're cootie free, Dave. I think
that was then, Scott. That was then. Times have changed,
a lot has happened in these 2 episodes.
I think I've ran into 2 since then.
That was probably one of my favorite ones.
I will say, Scott, yes, I don't feel bad for saying that there are some that I might have enjoyed more than others, but they've all have been a great time to do with you, and there's just some of them are just been, I don't know, more memorable than others. I guess you could say. I don't know. I every one of them has been a great time. I don't know how to.
I agree. I think we got more. I think that we've had a lot of good time. We've learned a lot in the process, and I think moving forward, I think we're going to still have a lot more fun.
I think we've got not enough done on this step, so we could actually take the next step.
Yeah.
So
let's take a quick break, and then we'll wrap up the show and talk a little bit about what our future might hold.
We got a future?
I hope so.
Well, dadgum, let's talk about that.
All right. Dave and I appreciate you listening to the show. Please take a moment and write a review on Apple Podcast or Podchaser.com. And since Spotify doesn't currently have reviews, simply telling your friends about the show would be great too. Also, you can always reach out to us at our website, nevertooserious.com, or via our socials at the NTS Podcast. And seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, thanks again for listening to the show. All right, we are back. So just wanted to kind of wrap up the show here and talk a little bit about the future of Never Too Serious, because we do want to continue moving on.
Yes, I do too. I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know until just now.
Yeah, I would break the news.
Yeah, I'd hate to come out here and be doing this on my own. Oof.
I wonder what that show would look like.
I have to have a piddle pad probably to start with, and there probably wouldn't be any audio. Pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
And so there's probably no video to boot too. Yeah, so probably wouldn't go very well there, Scott.
No. Okay, we won't do it that way.
Well, I'll tell you, I hope in that little joke there, I hope you know that Scott really does put a lot of effort into this, and you should really see behind the door on how this is getting put together, because it is not easy, and Scott does the most of it, and it really does show, I believe.
Well, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that you do it, because without Scott, this would probably not happen.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I do enjoy doing the podcast. I enjoy the edits. I enjoy all the techie stuff.
I'm glad I could give you those edits you have to do.
You do. No, I do enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I enjoy kind of sharing it with Ethan and teaching him some stuff and having him take over things.
Yep,
so.
And I will have to say, I do appreciate having Ethan help us out. We've had a lot of shows that, we'd be talking about a topic, and he will pull up something ahead of our thoughts and have it ready for us, and it's been really nice. So we give him a lot of crap for not being here, but it's because he's busy.
Yeah.
I remember me at that age, and he's got a lot of things pulling him a bunch of different directions, but so I got to give him props, because when he is here, he does do a good job. But every time he does one little thing messed up, we have to dump a bunch of crap on him. And that's just how it goes. Yeah. But I hope it is with love, because it's not of that you suck, but I know it comes off that ways.
Edit out nose whistles and keep my chair farts in.
Yeah, that's right.
I try not to eat chips.
Yeah.
You gotta put the phone down. No.
Yeah, you guys don't know this, but I have this weird psychological problem where noises and sounds drive me crazy.
And if you guys want a
that's
kind of
the example.
Yeah. And I know many of you listening are cringing just as much as I am right now.
Yeah, I might as well just say the word moist and get it over with.
Gosh, dang it. Okay, well, so the future of Never Too Serious, we want to bring on some guests a little bit more often, spice up the show with some different perspectives. We want to continue to have our topical podcast.
Yep.
We would love to have more interaction from the listeners. So please, if you're listening,
please do.
Yeah, we actually do want to. We do want to hear from you.
I don't care if it can't sound sillier than me. So say whatever you want. I mean, and give us any ideas. We might not pick up on all of them, but trust me, we listen to them.
Yeah, part of the show is we do want to have a nice following interaction with the community and hear from folks. So a mailbag at nevertooserious.com is a good way to reach out to us. Social media at the NTS podcast. That's Gettr, Twitter, and Parler, because Parler is back online.
That's right. Yeah.
So that would be good. We'd appreciate that. But we want to continue the topics and provide some value to you, the listener, the watcher. And of course, please comment and interact with us on YouTube. That helps us get, I guess, more exposure. The weird algorithm with YouTube, the more interaction we have with our community, our listeners, the more they put us out there to get in front of more eyeballs.
Hopefully we can reach out more. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say this about, we went into this knowing that this is a river full of fish, and it is rough. And that's not only just the rough, going upstream, but we're bouncing into other fish, and it's a rough ride right now, but to do, but it's so worth it, and we are progressing up, and that's thankful to our listeners, and also, of course, to you guys too. But if it wasn't for the people that are listening and are reaching out, we couldn't fine tune it to make it a better show for this up and coming year.
Yeah. So maybe grab.
Speaking of that,
oh yeah,
shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a cheers, Ethan.
So, Ethan, to another year. Look at you and your energy drink. Don't tell Mom.
Not a sponsor.
He's drinking.
Not a sponsor. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
To another year
Another
of
year.
Never Too Serious.
Never too serious, but we got to keep it that way.
That's right.
Cheers.
All right, and thank you, studio audience. We appreciate all of you. Braden, you're up there. He's pretty much listened to every show.
Yes.
Just about.
But
Yeah.
that would be great to hear back some feedback from him.
Mm-hmm.
Since he has listened to all of them, he'll be like, okay, Dave, number one, longer shorts. Number two, no
right.
Crocs.
No Crocs.
I mean, come on. I'm trying to get people to give me some feedback. I've got enough stuff where they could like choose from.
So funny. I love those Crocs. And then when you come in and you're not wearing shoes.
I forget. I'll tell you this. If I could wear shorts and be no shoes the rest of my life, that would be cool by me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great.
All right. Thanks again for listening. Thanks again for watching. If you don't mind, tell a friend. And until we see you next time, take care.
And be safe.
Congrats. 1 year. 1 year.